Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I've finished the wall. Mostly. The wall is finished. We still have more work to do though. What I want to do next is finish cleaning up the interior of the base because there are still a few biter nests scattered about that need to be taken out. Otherwise, they will continue to crop up within the walls, which would kind of make the walls not as useful as they should be. So I'm going to go around and do that. Some of these are reachable by my train. Some of them are reachable by the artillery in the main base. And then once that's done, I want to start setting up supply stations all around the edges so that we can get that taken care of. Looks like I also need to clean up my RoboPort coverage. Here, let me get rid of turret coverage for a minute. Well, I suppose this could be okay. Right, so we've got one robot network here. We've got one here. There's one here. See, these are all separate robot networks, so we need to make sure that each of those areas is going to be supplied with, repair packs and spare parts and things like that. But anyway, let's do first things first. And we'll take out these biter nests. All right, so we can start over here. And I think what I'll do is I'll park my train here so that we've got a natural choke point so that when they come to attack, it'll be easier to defend. And it's tempting to just start blasting away at everything I see on the map, but I actually want to try not to attack too much at once, because then the response by the biters can be a little overwhelming. All right. So now we're going to wait for this to clear. As I was going through this process of clearing biter bases, some of them were very large, which caused me some problems. I'll set up some flames so that they can march through that. And as you can see, my personal laser defense makes pretty quick work of all of them, except for the behemoth biters. What I found out is that this, whatever it is that the spitters spit out, some kind of acid or whatever it is, occasionally they would hit one of the rails or one of the train cars, and that stuff will destroy a train car very quickly. Okay, I was hoping not to ignite these trees, but pick them up so the fire doesn't spread. I want to keep as many trees around as I can because that helps with pollution and it looks nice. Okay, is that it? Yeah, over on this side in particular, you can see some of these biter nests are quite enormous, and I did have to take out a few like that over there. So that was a little tough. I made a lot of trips back to get more artillery. Okay, that seems okay. Good. Where else? And the rest of these, I think, are all just worms. right? Like we can shoot one just to check. But I think that's just a worm. Yeah. All right, so I'm not going to bother trying to kill every worm in sight. I'll just take out the biter nests because worms don't multiply. Okay, so the next stop will be up here. Yeah, there's a nest over there that we can take out. I want to stop near my turrets, not in front of the water. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're close enough for this to get it automatically. And the automatic turrets will take out worms as well as the nests, the spawners. And here they come. I'll lay out some flame so that they'll run through it, they'll catch on fire and start taking damage. And then I'll make it easier to clean up with the turrets. Okay, no problem. Okay, there's one up there. I wonder if I can reach that. Yep. Let's take out that one. All right, and we'll get the worm too. Why not? Yeah, so a couple times as I was doing this, because of the spitters, I lost one of my turret wagons. I lost a couple of locomotives. And I mentioned before that one time I even lost the cargo wagon that I had all my productivity modules in. That was kind of painful. All right. Yeah, we're just shooting at worms. Okay, so there's some over here. Let's go take care of those. I'm actually rather proud of this wall. It took a while to set up, but it's working fine, and it's I've got quite a large area set up here. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get our mega base done without having to expand our walls again. You know, we've got lots of iron, lots of copper, we've got coal, lots of petroleum. So hopefully we'll have enough resources within the current set of walls to at least to hit our first milestone of 1,000 science a minute. Okay, now I'm going to step back because I want to see how the wall does without my support. Yeah, no problem. The wall took a little bit of damage, but not bad at all. Okay, yeah, I need to go essentially over to where that other lake is. Oh, the other lake. That's not really a lake, that's more of a pond. Right over here. Okay. So let's shoot up this one. And this one. You know, and for these groups of worms, I think this is where having the atomic weapons could be useful. Because what I can do is, you know, if I have to build in these areas and I need to clear out a bunch of worms, I can just use atomic weapons to take them out. Okay, now we've got company. Man, those things are fast. I like how you can dodge the spitters now. Okay. I think that's just worms, but let's not take any chances. We have to make sure that it's all cleaned up. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll just have to let the radar do their thing. Because there are bound to be groups of biters wandering around, and if enough of them get together, they might form a new spawner nest. But you know, over time we'll get them all cleaned out from inside the walls. And in fact, why don't we? What I'll do is we'll go back to the. Get rid of that. We'll go back to the main base, and I'll start producing some atomic bombs, and that way I can just wander around. You know, when I have spare time, I can wander around in some of these dark spots in the map, and you know, take out anything that I see. There's an oil patch right there, so I put a pump jack there to help feed the flamethrowers. All right, so let's see what we need to make. Here we go. Atomic bombs. They need. Ooh. That takes a lot of uranium, doesn't it? So maybe I don't want to make too many of those. Speaking of uranium, I do have quite a bit now. We've got 932 pieces of uranium now. All three of these are running. Our ratio is now 27-1. So we're about halfway to the maximum. So we've got 25,000 uranium-238 and almost 1,000 uranium-235. So, and I started to make a few fuel cells. So we've got 100 fuel cells made. So we'll be able to start making nuclear power at any time, really. So why don't we just make like, maybe we can just make, let's say 10 of these things. And that'll be enough that I can just have a few to take out, you know, big patches of worms or whatever. But it won't consume a horribly large amount of my uranium. I don't mind sparing 100 of it. Actually, I'll just copy paste the assembler on there. Okay, rocket control units I don't know if I have going into the network. I don't think that I do. Let me see. No, I don't. Okay, so let's... put some of these into the logistic network. I'll limit that to 50, let's say. Okay. I stopped doing research just because I was running low on some resources. Copper, for example. All right. Yeah, I'm using a lot of copper on these circuits. And that's not leaving me much for my science packs. So I'm actually out of red science packs, which is not something that happens often. All right, so let's change this up a bit. There we go. My copper production is sporadic now because the copper mine here inside the base is depleted, as you can see. All right, looks like we have a tiny bit left. Oh. Okay, I don't have any more of those. All right, but yeah, aside from that little bit there, copper is gone. So let's clean up all this junk. There we go. All right. So let's work on a supply train. And this will be, I think this will be like combined supply and artillery for the wall. So I think I'll do like a 1-4-1. This would be a good place to put the station, but I need to not get in the way of this. This is probably not the best place to put my reverser thingy. Where can I put my supply train? I want it to be close to the mall since we're going to be picking up stuff from there. Okay, let's let me landfill. All right, and you can use bots to landfill now. Whoops. So let's copy. All right, and let's fill in all this. And soon we should see a swarm of construction bots headed down there. All right, so what I'll do, pardon me, is we can come off of this. Let's see, I want 1, 2, 3, and there. All right, and then I'll want, I don't really need chain signals going in, but I should have chain signals coming out. Okay. I could actually just put it right here. That would probably be okay. All right, so let's, whoops. There we go. I'm going to ghost a train in here. So there's one. And then I'll put a wagon. And then we'll have 2 artillery wagons, one of which I'm going to have to craft. I think I have one in inventory. All right, I need steel and engines. Okay, let's pick that up. Clear that. Oh, that's my tank. There we go. All right. Put another one there. And then we'll put another one of these there. And then we'll put another one of these there. Okay, and we'll call this main, I'll just call it supply. Okay, and then I'm going to need rocket fuel for the engines. Are these all connected? Yeah, great. All right, and let's get some loaders down here. All right. Well, yeah, let's get some ammo in here. Here I'm just putting regular fast inserters. And the reason for that is that stack inserters even though they can carry lots of items, they still will only pick up one stack at a time. And since the ammo is only one per stack, the most that you can pick up is one artillery shell. One artillery shell at a time, excuse me. So it doesn't really matter if you have, a lot more than that. Okay, so first I'm going to limit this wagon because we're not going to need to carry lots of stuff. But we're going to want repair packs. Let's have a couple stacks of repair packs. Let's have a couple stacks of laser turrets. Let's have one stack of flamethrower turrets. Power poles. Lights. Walls. Oh, pipes. We should have underground pipes and straight pipes. And we should have walls. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 items. All right, so we'll have 5 and 5. Okay, and I'll just put single stacks of each thing in here. What was it? Power poles. Lights. Walls. We had straight pipe, underground pipe. Oh, and repair packs. Yeah, actually there's only 8 items. Okay. And then I'll copy that there. So I'm going to hold down Shift, and that lets me edit it. I remove the track, and then I can line it up. Okay, so that's the supply train. And now I need to go out and build the supply network. All right, so first we'll add the main supply, and we'll stay here until inactivity. 5 seconds will be fine. Okay, so that way whenever it comes back to supply, it'll just come here until the inserters stop, and then it'll be free to go. So what I'm going to do is I'll have this go out. I'll have it go all the way around the loop, making several stops along the way. And then it'll go back to supply and then go back out and do the loop again. That's essentially the plan there. Oh, look at that. These guys spread fast, don't they? Jeez. Yeah, I better get this thing rolling, or I'm gonna end up with trouble again. All right. So we'll go out with this train, and we'll make things a little bit easier. Now that I have a complete loop, I can use the control button and set up a temporary stop and drive there automatically. So let's see if we can get at least the first stop set up. And then I'll go and duplicate it throughout the rest of the wall. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I want 3 spaces and then the track. There. Okay. So we'll put that there. And that can stay that way. All right, and I want this to be big enough for a 141. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna have to guess at this. All right, let's put a stop down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, so we can move this back a bit. All right, let's see if that's the right size. Actually, what I'll do is I'll roll my train in there. How do I get it to go to the actual station? Oh, shift. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the signal's right there. Yeah, I'll give it one more. There. Okay, and then we'll put a signal there. And we'll put a chain signal there, and, well, actually, let's just make these like that. Okay, so we can call this supply stop 1, or just supply 1. Okay. Okay, so the supply wagons are here and here. All right, I'm going to donate 1 stack of my construction bots. And then what we're going to do is we're going to load into storage chests. Yeah, and I think 2 will be enough. And then we'll put some filter inserters. Okay, and then I'm going to make a constant combinator. And with this, I am going to indicate the stuff that I want. All right, let's bring the train down here. All right, so I'm going to send this to supply 1. For now, I'll just say until circuit condition, because I don't want it to leave until I'm done setting this up. Okay, so at each of these stops, we're going to set, how much of these supplies we want to have here. So let's say we want a full stack of repair packs. I think they stack in 50s, right? Oh no, 100. Okay, so let's get 100 repair packs. Oh, my train is in the way. All right, control, go there. And then I'll put it in manual mode. Okay. Right, so let's say 10 laser turrets and maybe 2 of these flame turrets. Let's have 5 straight pipes, 5 underground pipes, 5 power poles, 5 lights, what else was there? Oh, and walls. Let's say 10 walls. Okay, and actually we'll change that to 50. Okay, I think that's everything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we want to have here. Now I'm going to connect these chests. I'm not going to connect to the logistic network because each of these stations, like I might have several stations along this same robot network, which in this case is this entire length here. Right, so I want to have this much stuff at each one of these stations. Okay, so we'll see what we have. We'll see what we want. We can add those together by just connecting the wires together. And actually these all need to be negative. No, those need to be positive. Yeah, my actual contents need to be negative. All right, so I need an arithmetic combinator. Okay, and I'm going to multiply the contents of what I have here by -1. So I'm going to take each times -1 and output as each. Okay, so that way we'll get a negative signal. So let's say I put in a couple underground or a couple of those. We can see that we get a -4 coming out, right? And then I'm going to add that in with my combinator signal. And then this output will have these negatives plus these positives. So that way, whenever there's less in here than what this says, it'll be a positive number. And I'm going to feed that into these filter inserters. I'm going to have to use a different color. Okay, so let's make that green. Because I need to use these same poles. So I need to use a different color so that the signals don't mix. All right, and then I'm going to set these for set filters. Okay, so these will pull out anything that's on the filter. And they're not working anymore. Okay, input signals. 52. Okay, output signals. Okay, yeah, so the output signals are all negative. And that means that we have enough of everything in these chests. Okay. So let's remove that weight condition. Let's add a new weight condition. It'll just be... Actually, I'm going to want to... I'll have it go to each station for 30 seconds. All right, let me send this one back. I'll have it go to each station for 30 seconds. So that way it's got time for the artillery to do its thing, refill, and then it'll go to the next station. That'll be just like this one. All right, so let's copy this. Actually, I'm going to want to save this blueprint. Okay. Oh, crud. Oh, okay, good. I saved it. I can delete that one. All right, let me get in my vehicle. And we'll put another one down the road here a little ways. Okay, I'll put this one here. Okay, and we'll call this supply 2. Okay, I'm going to need to craft some of these, some more of these. All right, and then where's the train? Here it comes. Okay, so now it's going to fill up again, at least as much as it can. We'll add supply 2. Again for 30 seconds. There goes our 5 seconds of inactivity, so now it leaves again. And this time it'll stop at supply 1 and then at supply 2. They maybe don't need to be this close together. Okay, we don't need anything else, so it's not dropping anything else off. And after 30 seconds, it'll go to the next station. Now, one thing I would like to test. Let's change this to inactivity. I want to see if the turret's firing will be considered to be activity. Or if it only counts loading and unloading. Oh, okay, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like the gun's firing will keep the activity counter going. Perfect. All right, and then we go back for another loop. Okay. Awesome. Oh, you know what? This doesn't need to have an engine going that way. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I was going to say, since we're always going in a loop, it could be single-headed, but actually the loading station, we need to go in both directions. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is start to place those supply stations around the perimeter. You know, I want them to be spaced closely enough together that we're able to get, you know, all of the bases. See, here's another one. These things expand awfully quickly. So I'm going to stop the train when I get close to that one. Or maybe I should just have static guns. That might actually be better, rather than using the train, because we've got a lot of area to cover, and it seems like these things might be growing faster than the train can keep up with them. Of course, I could always get multiple trains. I could have multiple supply trains so that each stop gets visited more often. Oh, look at that. This didn't get built properly. Supposed to be a flame turret there. There we go. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I think in the next episode, we'll start building up some nuclear power, and we'll go from there. Talk to you later. Bye.